it intellectually fun is I just like to launch things that are very different all the time. And Gabriel too, I guess. Also, you've done that like between. So to me, it's like I take pleasure in learning things, and also when you launch something that no one else has launched before, it's at least kind of level the ground, for whatever you're doing. So I don't know. I find that's my happy place. And so right now it's going to be AI stuff. 2 years from now it's going to be robotic stuff. 5 years from now it's going to be brain implant stuff, and then that's just the way it is.
Welcome. You're not supposed to do 1, 2, 1, 2. Welcome to the messy middle, where we're doing a fun
1 million
series. Yeah, fun series of Founder 2 journeys, as we're calling them. Not like Founder TWO, but like Founder TO. We covered on the last conversation Founder to Job, which I'm still embarrassed about talking about. I mean, it's just embarrassing. Frank, one day you're just going to have to figure out how I get less embarrassed about that. But today, Frank came up with a smart idea to talk about Founder to Startup, which to us is probably the most obvious one, but it's something we definitely need to cover in this series. And we did 10 minutes before. Frank doesn't like 10 minutes. Frank likes to talk. We know that. So do I. So we're going to try 15 minutes. And I guarantee you the next time we're going to try 20. And by the fifth one, we're going to get to our normal format of 30 minutes. Am I right, Teddy, or am I wrong here?
I think that sounds about right, yeah. But we never know with Frank. Maybe whole another podcast with him only.
But the reality is
we have 15 minutes. Let's stay focused, and everything you just said is absolutely wrong, but that's fine.
But like founder to startup, that sounds like our whole podcast is actually founder to startup. No, we call it.
So what do you mean? What do you mean, Frank? Founder to startup.
Well, again, like we naturally started to talk about founders to studio, then founders to a job, and so let's just try to break down in a process, how it works for us, for other people, like to transition to startup. I guess we can talk about the theory, but I think it's better to talk about our own experience because it's more real. I mean, to me, the way I look at it is, number one, you want to see if you have enough cash. You need cash to be an entrepreneur. It's a luxury. So one way or another, you need to either get a job on the side, which was the subject we talked about last week. Either you already have some cash from your previous exit, and then it can go from fuck you money to I can have, maybe 6 months, a year. So whatever it is, I think first you need to have a cash plan. And the last option, which I like, is also to move to a place where you reduce your burn, which, is the equivalent of more cash. So if you have 6 months of cash in San Francisco and you decide to launch your startup and you move to, I don't know, Bali or Asia or wherever, then, and you don't need the network, then you can last 2 or 3 years, and that's great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in this time, especially post-COVID, I guess that was less doable a couple of years ago, but I believe that's kind of a way it's going to become the standard.
So why weren't you able to do that?
Sorry?
Why weren't you able to do that? Move to Bali?
No, you can.
I'm kidding.
No, of course you can. So anyway, so one is cash. Once you've got that on the side, then there's always the thing we've been talking for many, many episodes, which is how do I get, the motivation, the right idea, the energy. So for the energy, I guess you can take a break. I'm always worried about breaks. So personally, I don't really take breaks. I know you're supposed to do like a year break, but I think to me, the year or 2 years break is if you really made it to fuck your money. And I think if not, the stress doesn't allow me to have a good break. And also the other thing is I'm worried that you lose the momentum, that you become lazy or something like that. So it's nice to recharge. I get it, but I don't see how I can recharge if I'm stressed by cash. But again, like if you did a multi-million-dollar exit, yes, like go take a year break. It's fine. You'll be okay. So it goes back to cash. And I think after that, then you go to whatever is your process, and we can talk about each of us. We had a couple of people we interviewed. Some people keep doing the same business over and over again. Like they just do a version of what they did before, like being typecast. And I think it's fine. You can, pivot around your success. On my end, my process is always, what's the new technology? What can I do now that I couldn't do before? And if there's anything that I'm vaguely excited about or that makes sense, and then trying to build a team. And I really, as I get older, I really just want to work with friends, which I know is different from you, Gabriel, but just because it's so painful to do a startup. And I think it's fine the first time because you're not aware of it and the level of energy you have is good. But I think knowing that after, I'd rather go through war and fires with people I like and have fun with. And then, that's the general process. And after that, most likely it will not work. So you have to keep trying. And to me, that's kind of a process. And sure, if you have a great idea you're passionate about, that's going to be easy. But if you don't have that, I wouldn't stop. It's like a marathon. Keep building something, keep pushing something, keep building a team. As long as you found something that can make $1, that's good enough. That's kind of my philosophy. So I'll pass it to you guys for your own process.
Oh, okay, there are a couple things going through my mind right now. But I think I had only one particular experience where I can contribute to this topic, founder to being founder again, one company to another. And contrary to what you said in terms of taking break versus not taking break, it sounds very good as a concept to be able to build one type of company, sell it or leave it, whatever, then work on another similar industry, or you identified some problem that you can work on next. The idea of having these multiple companies and recycling your energy from one to another and doing better exit sounds really nice. But in my case, I think that was the maybe it's not this. Maybe there were other factors contributing to what I felt, but I think I should have taken some time off between jumping from G6 to when I started no code, because I did it immediately. And I frankly went through my kind of worst year as an entrepreneur of my life, because it was, again, it's not only the work, but it was also the COVID around the same time, me moving to another place, a lot of different challenges, meeting new people, new friends, all that stuff. And that contributed to me feeling really bad and sort of burnt out. Although I was the person who would be like, burnout doesn't exist. But going through that phase, I think I should have taken some time off before jumping to this other opportunity.
No, it's fine.
It's
fine.
The question is,
one
experience.
Did you have the cash to do that? That's all. I mean, if you do, then that's fine. And also, honestly, I mean, the truth.
I don't even think about the cash. I don't know. When you start talking about it, it sounds logical, but in that phase, that wasn't really on the kind of the top of my concerns. It was somewhere there, but not really the priority. It was more about my feeling of I don't know, going through some sort of rediscovery. Who am I? What I want to do.
Yeah, not immediately jumping to. Just want to say, it's not that I don't like to take a break. What I mean is, when you start a new startup, the first 6 months is going to be your break, because it's so slow. There are some ideas. You're not really working much, at the beginning. So to me, it's enough.
Yeah.
You can, it's the chill phase. But true.
Again, the idea of you being able to jump to another opportunity right away and having this starting up again, hanging out with friends, hacking products, building stuff sounds really exciting. And that's kind of what I did back then. But I think in hindsight, I should have taken some time off, because I don't know if it was only that transition or other factors contributed to it. But I felt really bad just by going
how would you have taken your time off? What you'd like to do if you can go back into?
Yeah, what would you have done? Curious.
Oh, it's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
you gotta
just
know something. Come on. The response to that, because if you said, I want to take time off, you should have an idea of how you want to do it, because then the next time you do it, you might actually be able to take time off.
Yeah, that's the problem. And that's what I initially said. It was only this one occasion and that one example in my life where I felt that maybe I should have just, stopped thinking about work and try to do at least 1 month focused, not focused, but intentional time where I don't deal with any responsibilities of any kind. And maybe by the third week, I would have felt differently and had the energy to go back again. But I did not do that. So I think it's just, I was just tired, I guess. So maybe I needed to like take shorter
But
break.
again,
I don't know.
3 weeks is fine. You can even do that while launching your startup. You can say, you know what, I'm going to be off for 3 weeks. I'll think about the startup and I'll come back. It's at the early stage. I don't think it really matters much. But I get it. No, I'm talking about like a
I
year.
guess it
It's
depends.
like or
I used to run this previous company for like 8, 9 years, and then immediately jump into something new. I think that's also true for relationships. I've seen many cases where people are in very long-term relationships, and then they, for some reason, move on, and then their next relationship is typically a failure because they are kind of
rebound.
burned out. They didn't take the time to like invest in themselves, rethink who they are, what they want to do, and just set the priorities straight before jumping into
The analogy,
like focusing on something else.
The analogy is good, and then I'll pass it maybe to Gabriel. But maybe we have rebound startups. It's like you're you're doing a company, then you're doing the next one, and the next one is not going to be the right one, and you'll feel tired, and then you realize all these things, and then you do all the right things, and then it's fine.
Yeah, but and again, it's not a rule that this like everyone needs to do it, but I imagine if, let's say, when I jump to this new opportunity, if I had traction or interest, or it was like working from the get-go, it would have been different. Maybe I would have gained this momentum again and keep pushing, but things weren't really working out, whether it's me being tired or the COVID and other things that I mentioned. So it's not a rule, but that's kind of my feeling and what I went through.
So look, I think if you want to take a break, you have to be intentional about it. It's never going to happen if you don't do it. And that's kind of when I was harping a little bit on like, what would you do if you were to take a break? For myself, I know exactly what I would do and what I did, which was I took a few months off, not the most recent one, but after selling gammas, I wanted to travel Europe for 3 months, and I did it. I don't think it helped from the standpoint of coming up with any new ideas. I was actually probably more stressed.
That's
Back to Frank's point.
exactly, yeah.
And I had cash. Like I had enough cash to last me a year, 2 years, maybe longer. So that really wasn't a concern. And I budgeted the trip. It was like $18,000 for 3 months, which is cheaper than living anywhere in America for 3 months. So it wasn't, and that was everything, right? $6K a month. And I didn't have a place in the States. So I would say if you're going to take a break, you really need to take a break and have something to focus on. And if you're a founder to startup, taking a break in the middle, and this is what our entire podcast is about, the messy middle, listen to every other episode that we've recorded before this so I don't repeat myself. But
Yes.
my feeling is from the founder to startup, there are rebound startups. So in my experience, I only have experience of going from founder to startup or founder to next project, right? Because I did a SPAC after doing Gamma. In between, I have taken some small consulting roles, but that's only been twice. That was from selling when I sold BIM, and I made my first decent exit, and I helped the creator of Google Maps raise money for his startup. And it was about a year and a half between selling BIM and selling my stake in BIM, almost 2 years, meeting him and starting Gamma. So actually, I sold in 2014 and I started Gamma in 2017, but I did 2 other rebound startups in between. I did a network for LGBTQ plus youth on Snapchat, whatever. And I helped Lars with Weave. That was the longest break I've ever done between doing like really my own real startup and not. And I probably I was very depressed during some of the time. And it's when Frank and I reconnected in New York at that point. But if I look at recent history, I've only gone from founder to next thing pretty quickly. And, that was definitely with Gamma to the SPAC.
But I was going to say, if we're true to our audience, I mean, you have to talk also about Tectalia, because I feel like all of us,
Tectalia as well.
All of us in a way have like this buoy of something that keeps us busy and that's real. And Teddy, I guess you still have like some G6 stuff. I'm working, on Electis, and so maybe it's the real strategy we're doing, which is one real thing and one possible startup. And then after that, to me, for the break thing is like, sure, I mean, you have freedom. That's a great thing about being an entrepreneur. So at one point, if you really want to take a break, you can, I think. Just it's not that bad. It's like if tomorrow I want to take a break, I'll be like, you know what, I'll take a break. It's just I don't like taking a break when I don't
Well,
know the boat is or something is moving and it's going to be okay. I like to take a break after pushing everything, not before.
I I don't know how to take a break. So look, I was telling you I took a break in Europe, and if I'm being honest to everybody, I was
Let's
closing
define
the.
let's define what's a break for you or for me. A break is
I'm still
is
working.
to me a break. Yeah, it's still working. It doesn't matter. I can take a break. I can do a holidays. To me, a break is to know what the next 6 months of my life will be. I
Yeah,
cannot do that if I don't know what the next 3 weeks of my life will be. It's too much anxiety. So I need to get to that horizon to take a break. And so again, if I made $100 million exit, then I'm like, cool, I'll take a year break because it doesn't really matter.
yeah,
Which is what you hear a lot from people like Altman or people like saying, hey, you should take a break. But I think, if you have €1 on your bank account and you don't know what tomorrow's made of, it's going to be really hard for you to take a 1 year break and relax, unless you're
and
totally insane. But
yes, and we know a
then
few
good for
people like
you.
that.
Good
Yeah,
for you.
and I think there is no difference between really having €1 in your bank account and having sub a couple of €100,000 in your bank account when you're taking a break. If you're doing it in the Western world, if you're taking a break in Bali, like you mentioned, or Mexico or whatever,
Yeah,
then it's
it's fine.
possible to live that
Mm.
experience. But if you're doing it here, you're going to run out of money
Yeah.
extremely fast. And
By
Yeah.
the way,
there is,
it's so funny. I like all these podcasts, all these people talking about entrepreneurship. They rarely talk about money. When they talk about money, they talk about raising money, which is someone else's money. But you have to keep it real. Like for the vast majority of entrepreneurs and the people who listen to us, it's always about figure out how you make money, how you extract money, how you get that thing rolling. And if you do, then maybe you want to raise money, but it's the ultimate freedom. And
Oh, on the point of taking a break, I think for me it's having no unknowns. That's what it means for me to be in a state of kind of
mm,
being okay with what's going on. But the moment you have
yeah,
a lot of unknowns and you don't know about them, you're not aware what the next 3 weeks, 6 months, whatever it is, that's scary.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, but I like the idea that the thing that you said, Gabriel, about being intentional about it. So if you are intentional, you sort of project or plan what the possibilities are when the break ends, and just put an effort in
yes.
it and keep being in motion while doing this break, whatever that motion means for you. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
to me, I'm excited because I'm close to that break. It's going to be break time for me soon. I'm doing like maybe a month off, like post wedding. The
We'll
electricity is
see.
taking
We'll
off. Other
see.
project, sure. I mean, worst case, I can delay it if it's like for more visibility. But yeah, great.
I've never seen, since I've known Frank, which is almost 12 years, I have not seen him take a break for a month.
Uh, it's because I got married, so I guess you kind of have to take a break. Or
Do
it's,
you? I mean, I got married and Teddy got married
you didn't do a honeymoon,
for 4 days.
so
A
it's great.
month-long honeymoon is somebody who's like, I don't know who does a month-long honeymoon.
It's a honeymoon. The moon cycle is 28 days, 29 days.
Or,
So that's
for
where
the
it
middle
comes from.
class, you want to be
Yes,
an
Yeah,
entrepreneur.
exactly.
but
um,
yeah,
I couldn't survive. Honestly, I probably couldn't survive taking a month off with like actually not
we
working.
we will interview soon a friend of mine, another French guy. I'm sorry, but he just came back from 13 days silent retreat. I feel
Okay.
like I feel like it would be interesting.
Why was it 13 days? Because normally it's 10.
Or maybe it's 10, but I know it wasn't the 3 days one. I think it was 13. We'll ask him. He'll come in a
I could
couple
probably
of
only do the
podcasts.
3 days one. Okay, so I think we like kind of like covered this founder
Yeah.
to startup conversation. There's not
So
really much to.
cash break. Next thing we can dive into the style of how you figure out your next stuff. Again, like there's the instinct, which is you just walk in the street, see something. I like the one where whatever ideas you cannot kill, that keeps going back in your mind because you have all these
Mhm.
ideas. The repeat your past business, you keep doing the same thing, reusing your network, reactivating that. And then the one I like because I find it intellectually fun is I just like to launch things that are very different all the time. And Gabriel too, I guess. Also, you've done that like between. So to me, it's like I take pleasure in learning things, and also when you launch something that no one else has launched before, it's at least kind of level the ground, for whatever you're doing. So I don't know. I find that's my happy place. And so right now it's going to be AI stuff. 2 years from now it's going to be robotic stuff. 5 years from now it's going to be brain implant stuff, and then that's just the way it is.
I think about this. We're about a month and a half away from a year in this podcast, and I was thinking about seriously like what I want to do next, right? And of course, this is our conversation weekly. And Frank, I love you pointed out, AI, robotics, etc. For me, I'm excited. I continually am excited about this world of buying and selling companies and everything. And I still have not uncovered in my messy metal journey, which means I'm gonna have to take action, how to get into that world the regular way. Like I did it with the SPAC.
It's fairly easy. So I mean, the real question is why don't you do it? Like, look for a target, buy the target, and start small. That's it.
Because none of them have excited me yet.
Then we go to another dimension, right? Which is it's like
and you need excitement.
That's crazy. I don't think you need excitement.
For me, I do.
I think the excitement comes. It will come. You'll get excited.
I always say that.
Because if not, it's been a year. It's been a year. You look for excitement. At one point, I don't know. I need to read that book about how's it called? Like when you have addiction for exciting things.
Oh yeah.
Whatever is the hormone for that, but endorphin addiction or whatever it is. Then you have to cut your addiction. You have to go through suffering, like the grandpa style. Your grandpa.
No.
Grandpa didn't build business for excitement. It was like
NVIDIA.
It sucks. It's suffering.
Too. Okay,
and
you're
then you get excited because you build up an expertise,
right.
and then you're like, "Hey guys, I bought this cafe." So, fuck excitement. Like it will come. You'll get excited.
I love how Frank goes, I bought this cafe. Like that's what I'm good at. I'm really good at doing coffee shop cafes. I actually probably could do a good one. It would be an
Whatever,
Italian.
Just start small. Like stop talking about it and be like, just like buy a multi-billion-dollar company if you want. Like go for it. But my guess is it's like you're like, how do I get into the industry? And just buy something small. When can you buy now? Or how much money do you have? Like let's see. Maybe we can buy something in India. Or fix it, make it better.
God.
Let's do it.
It makes me lose my excitement even more now. So
then it's the other one. Just say when you hate that business, it's fucking boring and you'll never buy anything, You have to make a choice. It's one or the other. Old business, if you find old business boring.
Wait. You didn't even let me say what I was going to say.
Okay, sorry. It's my revenge for the beginning of a podcast, like where you blamed on me for 5 minutes. See, that's why we need more minutes.
So if I look at it the whole entire year, there's 3 ways of accessing it. So it's one way by doing
a year to do that. I'm sure GPT would do it like 30 seconds, but yes, sorry, go on.
He's not gonna stop. It's plus 20 minutes, so yeah.
Okay, I'll stop.
Cool.
We want to know the 3 ways.
Do we? I don't think we really do. Does anybody really care?
No, but it's
a SPAC. One of them's a SPAC where you raise the money, you take it public, and you find it and you do it. I tried that already.
And you did it, and it was 3-4 years. Yeah.
3 years. 3 years. Raised $300 million, and they're actually de-SPACing with a new company now. So let's hope I'll make money. The second one is you can go raise a fund and do it, or find a target and raise money around that. And the third is you do it by starting a startup and saying our approach is we're going to build the best, and then we're going to acquire the best around us to build around that. And that's where I'm debating, which is, do I just do the startup route and say we're going to grow by acquisition?
I look at it because I'm thinking about it now for Edictis, and if we want to roll up Edictis. But if I look at it, it was like 4 years of work to get to that point. And you cannot even think about these things until you make it to some kind of orbit, where you have a product, you have a team, you have customers, you have market, you have growth, you raise money. You need all these things before you can even start to do anything with a startup. So, or you join an existing startup and you're in charge of doing that.
I don't want to do that, just because you're
so then only option number 2 is left.
Yeah, no, option number 2 is I got to start my own, or I have to go raise money to find a target and take it over. That's what's going to happen. It's just,
Okay. Well, it's on YouTube forever for as a proof.
Good.
For as long as we keep the channel, yeah.
Okay, who's got the quote? As long as we keep it's free to keep the channel, Teddy. The only one who complains about the money
free?
that it is free to put it on YouTube.
Oh, the channel it is, but the video can be better. But I don't know. Hopefully,
you got a quote, Frank, or what?
Frank, you got a quote?
I don't know. I don't have a quote.
Do you just want to complain, or do you got a quote this week?
I don't know. I like the Nike quote. Just do it. Good quote.
That's our quote.
Cool. Yeah. We'll talk to everybody next week.
Bye.